Let's do factorization by grouping. If you haven't watched my first video on introduction to factorization, ensure that you watch it before you continue watching this video. The first example, x squared plus 5x plus 6x plus 30. Factorize. In this expression, we have four terms. So we are going to group them into two. We have x squared and 5x together. This side, 6x and 30 together. To factorize this expression, we look at what appears on both sides of the sign. So the sign is plus. What appears on both sides? X appears on both sides. So which x do we factorize? The rule is simple. When you are applying factorization, you get a letter which has the smaller power. So between x squared and this x, which one are we going to factorize? It is this x. That's the one we're going to get because it has a small power. This one has a big power, so we cannot put it out. So the x which is common is this one. So we say x is common. Now, when you have identified what's common, you open parentheses. So we do this. Then we start applying division. X squared divided by x. X squared divided by x. The expression on top means x times x. Then we have over x. So this x and this x will cancel out so that we just remain with 1x. So this 1x, that's the one we put here. The operation is plus, so we drop it, plus. On the other side, we have 5x divided by x. So this means 5x divided by x. So this and this will cancel so that we just remain with 5. So we just put our 5 here. Then we close. Now let us factorize these two. Again, we apply the same concept. What's common? So x is not common because it is not appearing here. So we cannot factorize x. What can we factorize then? 6. 6 is common because 6 can go into 6. 6 can also go into 30 without leaving a remainder. So 6 is common. So when you're factorizing numbers, you have to find the biggest possible number which can go into both numbers without leaving a remainder. So we know 2 can go into 6 and 30 without leaving a remainder. But there are other numbers bigger than 2 which can go into 6 and 30, like 3 and 6. So we get the biggest possible number. So in this case, we say 6 is common because it goes into 6. It can also go into 30. So we say 6 is common. Once you have what is common, you open parentheses like that. And then we apply division. 6x divided by 6. So this means 6x divided by 6. This and this will cancel so that we just remain with x. Then the operation plus. 30 divided by 6, the answer is 5. So we can see that we have these terms which are identical. So we put them together. So we put x plus 5. We just get 1 since they are appearing twice. These are the same. So just get 1. We factorize it. It's common. Once you do that, write what you're remaining with this x positive 6. Put them in parentheses. X positive 6. Positive 6 like that. So this is how we factorize. Let us look at another example. This one is very important, so watch it up to the end. We have 4x squared plus 8x minus 3x minus 6. To factorize this expression, we group them into 2. So this is the first pair and this is another pair. So let us identify what is common in this first pair. So if we see x is common because it is appearing on both sides. What else is common? 2 is common. 2 can go into 4. 2 can also go into 8. But 2 is very small, so we cannot use 2. There is another number which can go into 4 and 8 without leaving a remainder. That number is 4. 4 is common. It can go into 4. It can also go into 8 without leaving a remainder. What else is common? The x. It is appearing on both sides. So which x do we get? Is it x squared or this other x? So we get this x because the power here is 1. So when you have an x which doesn't have a power, we say that x is raised to the power 1. So this is x to the power 1. So x to the power 1 is common, like that. So we put it together with the 4. Once we have identified what's common, we open parentheses like this. Then we start dividing. 4x squared divided by 4x. So this means 4x squared divided by 4x. So we say 4 divided by 4, the answer is 1. Then here we have x squared divided by x. So we're just going to have x like that. X squared divided by x, the answer is x. So our answer for this is 1x. So we say 1x like that. Plus 8x divided by 4x. So 8 divided by 4, the answer is 2. X divided by x, the answer is 1. So we cannot put the 1 here because it will be 21. So when your answer is 1, you just leave it since you've already written the first number, 2, like that. Or you can say 2 times 1 so that you should get back your 2. You close. On the other side, this is where it is critical. So if you look at this end, the negative is also common because we have a negative and a negative here. So we have to factorize the negative as well. So we say the negative is common. What else is common? 3 is common because it is in 3 and it is also in 6. So we say 3 is common. So we say 3 is common. Okay, so once we do that, we can open parentheses and start dividing. So we say negative 3x divided by negative 3. So this negative 3x here. So we have negative 3x divided by negative 3. So negative divided by negative, the answer is positive. 3 divided by 3, the answer is 1. So our answer will be 1x, which is just written as x. On the other side, we have negative 6 divided by negative 3. Don't leave out the signs when you're dividing. So this means negative 6 divided by negative 3. So negative divided by negative, we get positive. Then here, 6 divided by 3, the answer is 2, like that. And you can see that these are now perfect because they are similar. So because they are similar, we just get one of those. So we have x plus 2, like that. Then we're remaining with 4x and negative 3. So we have 4x and negative 3, like that. So this is basic factorization, and this is what you're supposed to know before we start solving factorization of quadratic expressions. Thank you very much for watching.